Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do an update video here. Now I haven't physically done anything to the layout, but I don't mean I don't have updates and stuff to share with you. So the first thing I like to report is that my beloved scale Hudson, my Christmas present to myself, my favorite locomotive, and the thing I'm most proud to own, is dead. It died. It no longer moves. It filled me with all these things called emotions. Not sure what to do about that. Now, I assumed it might have a problem out the gate as soon as I got it, because these things start in neutral and then you kill the power and give them more power and then they'll go forward. And well, in this one, if you killed it for more than a second, it would just go back into neutral. So my immediate assumption was it had a dead battery. This is a PS1 locomotive, so it's got some age on it. So, plus it came with an Energizer 9-volt in the box, so it's kind of a dead giveaway. So I ordered a brand new replacement MTH9, or it was an 8.5 rechargeable. And the actual battery is supposed to replace it, not the Energizer. And I took the tender off, I took the tender off the track and took the 6 screws out and replaced the battery, put it all back together, and nothing. Wouldn't move, wouldn't nothing. Just nothing, dead. So I'm like, oh crap, that battery must have shorted out or something. So I put the first battery back in it and the original battery in it, nothing. It's just dead. What I ended up doing is I took the tender from my semi-scale Hudson, which is currently over there, plugged that into it, and it took off and ran. So I know the issue is in the tender. So my greatest fear is that the board is dead. It was probably on its last hurrah when I got it. But I went online, and the first thing I've done, my first thing I'm going to do before I do anything is I'm going to replace the plug. I bought a replacement plug because this one looked kind of grody. It may have been, looks like it got a little hot, and I don't know. It's worked, so that's always felt kind of loose. So the first thing I'm going to do is just plug right in on the board. So I'm going to replace that, and I'm hoping it works, but I'm not optimistic. So my next option would be to obviously change the board in it. Now I did some little reading on it, and I saw some article somewhere that said MTH doesn't make the board anymore. So I'm going to call them and confirm, I guess, when I'm ready. Right now I'm just angry. And if it's true they don't make the board anymore, I guess I have two options. One would be to, since I know it works with a semi-scale tender, is to just stock eBay until I find a lone tender by itself and yank the board out of that and put it in there. The board and that just held on with a couple screws. The board and that just held on with a couple sticky pads. So it's easy. It looks like an easy enough swap. Or my next option would be, I'm going to go out on a limb and assume the board in that thing is at its heart just an AC to DC converter with a couple transistors or something to switch the reverse the polarity to the CAN motor. So that'd be your 4 wires, AC DC, or AC in, DC out, I'm hoping. So if I can't, I could always, I'm assuming, assumptions of Miller screw-ups, of course, is get like a generic board out of like a 90s line on Locomotive and just kind of like retrofit it in. I'd have to like trace the wires and figure out where everything, what wire goes to that. And assuming everything carries the same, all the wires is roughly the same gauge and carry the same voltage, there's no reason that shouldn't work. So I'll deal with that when I'm done being angry at it. The next thing I had to report is I've gotten one of these. It's a bad place to pick it up, isn't it? Get off of that. Well, you little bugger. Come here. Oh. So I've got one of these pretty things. I believe these are exclusive to a 1984 set, but given my love of Veer Lakawan, I've been looking for one. Every time a powered unit shows up from the set, dummy units show up all the time, but every time a powered unit shows up, it's either too overpriced or anything at a decent rate sells before I have money to get it. So when I saw this one, I knew what I had to do, and I got it. Oh, and by the way, the battery I bought for that is currently in a semi-scale because it had a dead battery too. So that actually works nice. And as you can see, at the same time I got the battery, I also got them a set of MTH F3s. F3s, F7s. I actually don't know how to tell the difference. I guess it'd tell me on the box. But a couple weeks ago, for some reason, I got it in my head that I needed a set of F3s, and I went online and looked at MTH and bid on what I thought was the cheapest set of F3s on eBay at the time. And if I had taken a second to think about it, I actually had a set of Rock Islands F3 units on my watch list already that were cheaper. So that was a goof. You will also notice that they're Santa Fe units. And if you watch the video where I made the shelf for my HOs, you'll have heard me mention that I am Santa Fe F unit out. I'm tired of looking at them because I had so many in HO. But irony being, of course, I ended up getting a set of Santa Fe F3s, and well, I mean, they're basically, I mean, look at them, they're gorgeous. Even if I'm tired of looking at them, I mean, they're still good looking. And these have issues too, would you know it? I'm running them dummy first because this coupler keeps uncoupling. I don't know if it's just a dirty connection telling the thing to uncouple, or like the pin in its weak, or whatever the uncoupling mechanism is. It appears to be like uncoupling. I haven't had time to investigate it because I just got them over here and I just got them out of the box and just started like test running them. But they run pretty good. They have the same problem as the other two. The battery ends up dead. So when you kill power, they go completely dead. And now after dealing with that thing, I'm now scared to change the battery in them. So I'm going to live with that for now. Plus they were probably not going to stay on the track for very long. I'll throw the F unit back, or the Trainmaster back on. But I'll run these for a minute and get that out of my system. I bid on and won the cheapest 042 on eBay at the time, and I did not bother to look at it that closely because when it showed up, the frog was broke. It was very rusty and I knew I could clean that up, but when it showed up, I didn't realize the frog was actually missing this bit of rail. Luckily, I had a scrapped 022 switch from a bundle. The one I think I mentioned that rail when I went to resolder the joint, I accidentally got soldered in the joint, and so it had always been going to that rail. So I robbed the frog off of that and put it on that one, and it cleaned up really good. And the center rail. Why is that sticking up now? There. And I know I said in the last video I was thinking about giving up on the S gauge because I didn't know if it was going to get cluttered, but I wanted to see it myself before I completely wrote it off. So I did buy a loop of S gauge track, and I've been playing with it to see if there's a place I could put it where I'd actually be happy with it. It's not actually going to take as much room as I thought it would, because I think it's only going to come out to here if I put it where I want. The trick is just getting it aligned where I could put like the what would you call that, stanchions, I guess. Put the yeah, pillars up for the trestle bit where it wouldn't be in the way. So I need to play with that a little bit more, but in any case, there's that. And the only other thing I have done besides get a 3D printer is I have got a new O-gauge locomotive. And this is a class 45 peak. This is the one of them the Model Center exclusives over in the UK with a split head coat. It's supposed to be like an early model or something. I'm not an expert in that crap, but it still needs broken. It's still new, but that's really all I got. So I guess I'll run these for you for a minute and then call it a night. Somehow, those two rascals managed to overload the ZW right after I got done filming that last bit. Maybe I'll have to look into figuring that out.